Let me tell you something powerful. Every time you get rejected, you're standing at the door of transformation. Most people run from rejection. They take it personally. They shrink. They doubt themselves. But the successful ones, they use it. They convert rejection into rocket fuel because rejection is not a wall. It's a mirror. It's a mirror. It reflects actually where you need to grow, sharpen, and rise. Very petits esprits discutent this. When someone says, no, the average person hears stop, but the successful one hears not yet, you see the difference. It's all mindset. Think about it, JK. The esprits discutent this. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter changed the world. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before building the most valuable brand on the planet. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school team. This and les petits esprits discutent this. They all had one thing in common. They didn't fear rejection. They fed on it because rejection doesn't define your value. It tests your commitment. If you can stay standing when the world pushes you down, événements et les petits esprits discutent this. That's when you become unstoppable. Every rejection carries a lesson, a redirection, or a revelation. A lesson. What can I improve? A redirection. Maybe this isn't the right door. A revelation. Maybe I was aiming too small. But to see these gifts, you must stay calm, stay curious, and stay hungry. The pain of rejection is temporary, but the strength it builds is permanent. It toughens your mindset, strengthens your emotional armor. This AVA limits it, les petits esprits discutent and forces you to think bigger. The next time someone says, you're not good enough, smile, because they just handed you free training for greatness. The more they doubt you, the more energy you gain. The more they block you, esprits discutent does. The more creative you become. Rejection isn't the end, it's the beginning of power. This AVA limits les petits esprits discutent this. The day you stop being afraid of hearing no is the day you start hearing yes more often than you ever imagined. Rejection is not a wall, it's a mirror reflecting growth. Most people see rejection as a stop sign. Petits esprits discutent this. A signal that says you're not enough or you've failed. But in truth, rejection is not there to block you. It's there to show you something about yourself. Every rejection you experience carries a message, a lesson. This AVA demands les petits esprits discutent or a reflection that reveals who you are, what you're capable of, and where you still need to grow. It's not meant to destroy your confidence. It's meant to refine it. When someone says no to you, what they're really doing is holding up a mirror to your current level of skill, strategy, and resilience. It's like a progress report from life. If you look at it carefully, this AVA les petits esprits discutent this, you'll notice that rejection doesn't actually stop your progress. It simply points out where progress is needed. The problem is most people never look into that mirror long enough to learn from it. They get angry, hurt, or embarrassed. Petits esprits discutent these and they turn away, missing the opportunity to grow stronger, sharper, and wiser. The most successful people in the world don't run from that mirror. They study it. They analyze it. They ask, événements et les petits esprits discutent this. What is this rejection trying to teach me? Because they understand that the only way to level up is to first face the truth of where they stand. When a door closes, they don't curse it. They check if they knock the right way. AVA nimens et les petits esprits discutent this. If they were at the right door, or if they were even ready to walk through it, that's the difference between someone who gives up and someone who grows up. Every rejection reflects back your weaknesses, your blind spots. This AVA nimens petits esprits discutent this and your untapped potential. Maybe you weren't prepared enough. Maybe your message wasn't clear. Maybe your timing was off. But instead of letting that discourage you, let it educate you. AVA nimens et les petits esprits discutent this. The mirror of rejection doesn't lie. It tells you exactly where you need to improve to earn your next opportunity. The key is to stop taking rejection personally and start taking it professionally. It's not about your worth. Petits esprits discutent this. It's about your growth. Think about any area of life, career, business, relationships, personal goals. Each rejection you faced has probably forced you to change something, to adapt, to evolve. And that's the beauty of it. Rejection, petits esprits discutent these. Rejection transforms potential into power. It trains your mindset to handle pressure, criticism, and uncertainty, the exact qualities you need to win in the long run. Without rejection, you stay comfortable, you stay safe, événements et les petits esprits discutent these, and you never grow. But when you embrace it as a mirror, you start using every no as feedback that shapes a stronger version of yourself. So the next time rejection hits you, don't break the mirror, look into it. Ask yourself what it's showing you, what it's demanding from you, and what version of you it's calling forward. Because when you start seeing rejection not as a punishment, but as reflection, discutent disease. You stop fearing it, and that's when true growth begins. Successful people turn no into not yet. That simple shift in mindset changes everything. When most people hear the word no, they immediately feel defeated. Da événements said les petits esprits discutent these. They interpret it as a final judgment, a permanent label that says they're not good enough or that their dream isn't possible. But successful people think differently. To them, no is never the end. It's a temporary pause. Les petits esprits discutent this, a signal that says you're close but not ready yet. This small difference in interpretation is what separates those who stop from those who soar. A no doesn't mean you failed. Événements les petits esprits discutent these. It means there's something more to learn, something more to prove, something more to refine. Successful people understand that rejection isn't final, it's feedback. Événements les petits esprits discutent this. They don't see no as a door, they see it as a door that needs a better key. Every time they hear no, they adjust, they adapt, and they come back stronger. This is how growth happens, not in the moments of applause. Événements les petits esprits discutent this. But in the moments when you're told you're not ready yet, and you choose to keep going anyway. Look at any story of achievement and you'll see this principle in action. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Petits esprits discutent this. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job. Colonel Sanders heard no more than 1,000 times before someone agreed to franchise KFC. These people didn't take rejection personally. Esprits discutent these. They heard not yet. They understood that timing, preparation, and persistence have to align before success can unfold. They didn't quit when they were told no. They refined their craft, deepened their belief. Needs is petits esprits discutent this and try it again. That's what turns failure into momentum. The phrase not yet holds power because it keeps your spirit alive. It keeps you open to possibilities instead of shutting you down in disappointment. This, when you hear not yet, you shift your focus from frustration to strategy. You start asking better questions. Événements les petits esprits discutent this. What can I improve? What did I miss? What can I do differently next time? This mindset transforms rejection into direction. Instead of seeing yourself as block, you start seeing yourself as building. These événements les petits esprits discutants. Every no becomes a stepping stone toward the yes you're working for. What separates high achievers from everyone else is their patience with the process. They understand that mastery takes time. This, every not yet, is a test of persistence, a filter that separates those who merely want success from those who are truly committed to it. Les petits esprits discutant this. The world doesn't reward the first person who tries. It rewards the one who refuses to give up after everyone else stops trying. That's why successful people don't rush through rejection. They learn from it, evolve. Esprits discutent this and let time work in their favor. When you start thinking in terms of not yet, you build emotional endurance. You stop panicking at obstacles and start preparing for breakthroughs. You become more resilient, more strategic, petits esprits discutent this, and more patient. And those qualities attract success naturally. Every no you hear becomes another reason to refine your vision, strengthen your skills, and rise higher than before. Because in the end, les petits esprits discutent this. Success is not about avoiding rejection, it's about transforming every no into the next powerful step toward your yes. Every rejection hides a lesson, a redirection, or a revelation. When you face rejection, les petits esprits discutent this. It's easy to feel like the world is turning against you, like your efforts were wasted, your dreams dismissed, or your value denied. But hidden beneath that pain is a message, a piece of wisdom waiting to be discovered. Les petits esprits discutent this. The difference between those who grow and those who give up lies in whether they choose to look for that message or not. Successful people understand that rejection is not an accident. It happens for a reason, to teach, to redirect. Les petits esprits discutent these, or to reveal something essential about your path. Sometimes rejection carries a lesson. It's life's way of telling you that something your approach needs improvement. Maybe your preparation wasn't deep enough. Les petits esprits discutent this. Maybe your skills weren't sharp enough. Maybe your communication wasn't clear enough. These lessons are often painful because they challenge your ego, but they're invaluable because they help you improve. The truth is, les petits esprits discutent these. Success doesn't come to those who think they already know everything. It comes to those who are humble enough to learn from every no. Rejection, in that sense, is a teacher disguised as disappointment. Other times, petits esprits discutent. Rejection is a redirection. You might think you know exactly where you're supposed to go, but life often has a bigger, better plan that you can't see yet. When one door closes, les petits esprits discutent these. It's not always punishment. Sometimes it's protection. Maybe that opportunity wasn't meant for you. Maybe it would have led to something smaller than what you're capable of achieving. Even niemand zit er les pretty to discuting. There's many people who've reached incredible success can look back and say that rejection was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because without it, they would have settled for less than they were destined for. Esprits discuting this. Rejection redirects your path so you can align with something greater than you imagined. And then there are times when rejection brings revelation, moments when you realize something powerful about yourself. Maybe you discover a strength you didn't know you had. Maybe you see how badly you truly want something. Or maybe you understand that your happiness doesn't depend on someone else's approval. It lists participants discuting this and strips away illusions and shows you what's real about your purpose, your passion, and your resilience. It's a mirror that reveals not just your flaws, but your fire. When you get rejected and still choose to move forward, you uncover a deeper version of yourself, one that refuses to be defined by setbacks. If you can train your mind to look for the lesson, the redirection, or the revelation in every rejection, you'll never see it as failure again. You'll see it as part of your evolution. Each no becomes a moment of clarity, a chance to grow wiser, stronger, and more aligned with your purpose. That's why successful people don't dwell on rejection, they dissect it. Even experts discuting this. There's what is this trying to teach me? Where is it trying to lead me? What truth is it revealing about me? And with every answer they find, they rise a little higher, a little stronger, and a lot more unstoppable. The more you embrace rejection, the stronger and more unstoppable you become. Rejection is not something to be feared or avoided, it's something to be embraced, because every time you face it and keep moving forward, Petits esprits discutent this. You build a new layer of strength within yourself. Most people spend their lives trying to dodge rejection, playing it safe, avoiding risk, and staying in their comfort zones. But that safety comes at a cost. It keeps them weak, fragile. Petits esprits discutent these, independent on approval. Those who truly rise, those who achieve greatness, are the ones who walk straight into rejection and use it as resistance training for the soul. No you face toughens you. It tests your emotional endurance. It tests your emotional endurance, your patience, your hunger, and your belief in yourself. Just like a muscle grows only when it's pushed beyond its limits, your character grows only when it's tested by rejection. You can't develop resilience by winning all the time. You develop it by falling, by being told you're not ready, by being overlooked and still showing up anyway. Each time you do, you become less dependent on external validation and more anchored in your own confidence. That's how unstoppable people are built, not through comfort, but through challenge. When you start to embrace rejection, something shifts something shifts inside you. It stops being a source of pain and becomes a source of power. You start to see it not as a reflection of your worth, but as evidence that you're daring to try, daring to dream, daring to step outside the lines where most people stay trapped. Every rejection becomes proof that you're in motion, that you're evolving, that you're chasing something meaningful. Petits esprits discutent this. Because the only people who never get rejected are the ones who never try anything bold enough to risk it. The truth is, rejection teaches you what success can't. Success makes you comfortable, but rejection keeps you sharp. Petits esprits discutent this. Success flatters your ego, but rejection strengthens your character. Success can make you complacent, but rejection keeps you hungry. When you learn to see rejection as a necessary part of growth, you begin to crave it. Petits esprits discutent these. You start to understand that each no is sculpting just you, refining your discipline and preparing you for a greater yes in the future. Discutent these. That mindset is the foundation of unshakable confidence, the kind that can't be broken by opinions, setbacks, or temporary failures. Look at any world-class performer, athlete, or entrepreneur. Discutent these. Behind every success story is a mountain of rejections they refuse to let break them. They faced countless moments where it would have been easier to quit, but they didn't. Why? Because they understood that rejection isn't punishment, it's preparation. Every setback, every closed door, every harsh criticism was secretly building the inner toughness they needed to handle the success that was waiting for them. Esprits discutent this. The moment you start to embrace rejection with that same energy, to see it as your training ground, not your tombstone, you stop being controlled by fear. And when fear loses its grip on you, there's nothing left that can stop you.